Amendments by ministries. Responses. The member for Lanark, Frontenac, Lennox and Addington.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I respond to this piece of legislation, I want to first say I received a call a couple hours ago from some people in the media wanting me to comment on this piece of legislation, which of course hadn't been tabled. And during that discussion, certainly appeared that the press were more informed of this piece of legislation than myself. Once again, this minister, this is the second piece of legislation he's introduced in the House as the new minister, and no briefing, no prior, got notified today that this bill would be coming forward, no briefing, no interest in providing the opposition members any knowledge about this bill before our time to respond to it. So 20 minutes ago I received this bill, and this bill does amend the Occupational Health and Safety Act. It also amends the WSIB Act, and it's a very significant and substantial document, and I think this minister is showing this House his arrogance and contempt for the legislature when it appears the media is getting more information about this bill than members of the opposition and myself as critic. So I want to just put that on the record, Minister. We've seen this sort of activity in the past. We have seen some ministers on the other side actually engage with the opposition, provide some briefings, provide some prior notice, so that we can provide some intelligent, well thought out and informed opinions on a piece of legislation. But this minister seems to be going down the same path as the previous Minister of Labour, and I encourage him to have a little bit more respect for this House. Speaker, we've seen in this brief period of time reviewing this bill that the minister refers to the recommendations of the Tony Dean panel as the motivation for this bill. But I'll say this, nowhere in the Dean report did it suggest that inspectors and members of the bureaucracy are not compellable witnesses in a civil suit. Nowhere in the Dean report did they suggest that an inspector is not a competent or compellable witness before a board or proceeding relating to a complaint. There's a number of things in this piece of legislation that clearly have no relation to the Dean report, and I want to put it on the record. This is about people's health and safety. It ought not to be used as a political football or for partisan purposes. And I want to also put on the record that here we have 19 agencies already existing in this province that govern and protect worker safety. The Office of the Employer Advisor, Office of the Worker Advisor, WSIB, WorkSmart Ontario, and I could go on and on. This minister has created another level of bureaucracy for workplace safety, except this new office. This new office will be totally unaccountable to the legislature and totally unaccountable to the people of this province. That is a major, major fault that we're seeing coming out of not just this legislation, but the record and the track record of this Liberal government. Speaker, we know that this minister, it appears in this short review of this legislation, that we're taking away authority for worker injury prevention out of WSIB and putting it into an unelected, unaccountable office that the minister can hide behind once again. And this is indicative of this government creating more and more layers of fog, and that makes it difficult for people to be engaged properly with the government. making it difficult to find out who makes the decisions, where those decisions are made, and how to get through that thickening maze. And that's what this piece of legislation does. Doesn't appear to have anything about occupational health and safety other than protecting the minister.
Thank you.